Someone recently asked me how I know if something is a good deal or what to expect on a refinance. I want to make this video for you. The simple answer is comps, which means comparable sales. You see, in residential real estate, homes are valued based on what similar properties sold for in the area. This is how I know if I'm getting a good deal and if I should buy a property. I talk to my realtor, I give them the specifics of a property and the address and say, hey, I'm looking at buying this home in this area. It's 3-bed, 2-bath. This is what the property features, and they'll pull up the comparable sales in the area. They'll look at similar 3 beds, 2 baths that have sold recently in the last 2 to 3 months. And based on these numbers, I know what I should offer a seller and if I'm getting a good deal, and what to expect on the refinance for the appraised value. Best way to do it is to work with a realtor that has access to this data, because it's not publicly available in Canada. There are a couple websites out there that do have comparable sales for the public. They're not as good as a realtor's data, but they do work in certain markets. There's honestdoor.com and housecinema.com. These are free websites where you can look up the comparable sales. So if you're just getting started, I highly recommend that you guys dive into these websites and take a look for yourself to see what similar properties are going for what you're looking to buy or refinance. But be careful, we're not talking about the listed price, what someone is asking for. You want to look for the actual sold price. And here's the thing, you want to make sure you're comparing apples to apples. You might have a similar property, but if this one has more bedrooms or more square footage, or maybe it's in the same neighborhood, but it's a different style home, it might not be a true comparable. You want to look at a raised ranch versus a raised ranch, same number of beds and baths. And sometimes in smaller markets, it's hard to do. There might not be enough comps there, or you have to make adjustments. For example, the house you're looking for doesn't have a garage, but all of the comparable sales do have a garage. So you have to make a price adjustment. Maybe you deduct $50,000. And one comparable is not enough. For a true comp, you need at least 3 comparable sales that are recent. Now, I know what you're thinking. When you talk to a seller, they're saying, hey, the house down the street sold for this price. They're talking about a sale that happened 1 or 2 years ago, or even longer. That's irrelevant. You have to look in the last 90 to 180 days max. And in this market where things are going down, 180 days is too long. I'm looking at the last 60 to 90 days. And here's the thing, the more comps you check, the more familiar you are with the market. To give you guys an idea, I check anywhere from 12 to 24 comps a week. So if someone tells me about a house that they're looking to buy, or a seller that I'm speaking to is asking for a certain number, I know what that neighborhood goes for because I check comps so often. Now that being said, you also want to look at 2 different kinds of comparables, as is and as complete. As is meaning it's a fixer upper or it's a clean house, just very outdated. And you want to see what an as complete or ARV is, after renovated value. What are homes that are renovated going for? If you're buying the as is, you want to know approximately how much it's going to cost in renovations to get to the ARV value. And then you want to see, is there a delta there? Is there a spread? If I buy a house for $300 and I'm investing $50,000 into it, I'm in it for $350, the comp should be $450, if not higher. That way you have a profit margin there. And this all ties into the golden rule of real estate. You have to make money in the buy. You can't over renovate to fix your mistake. You have to make sure you have equity from day one. It's all about the data, not the drama. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any questions regarding real estate, let me know in the comments below. If I find it a valuable question, I'll make an entire video on it. And make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button and follow along for more.